Come, I'll show you the sweetest delight in the garden. As a surprise for Adam.
Really?
Come.
All right.
Here.
But this is the one tree in the garden we cannot touch. This is the forbidden fruit.
Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden? Surely not.
We may eat the fruit of any tree in the garden, except for the tree in the middle of the garden. God has forbidden us to either touch or eat the fruit of that tree, for if we do, we shall die.
You believe that nonsense? Of course you will not die. God knows that as soon as you eat it, your eyes will be opened, and you and Adam will be like gods yourselves.
All of us one day will reach the level of the avatars that we have read about in history, the Buddhas, Jesus, infinite ones, God.
You ain't your servant, you cast your spell upon this planet with your graven images and your wishes to be worshipped. Witches and warlocks flock like Harry Potter fans, waiting for your new age plan to spread across the land. You got the masses dumped down where you want them, convinced that you don't exist, and now you got them atheist. Some even think they're evolving to a godlike level above and beyond human. These Luciferian lies feed on ego and pride. They come disguised as an angel of light, like the original sin and the first deception. The tree in the garden, don't you see the connection? It's the same old lie that he used back then at the beginning of time, at the fall of man. Have we forgotten the truth within the book of Genesis? Ignorant of the nature of sin, so we dismiss written words of God as an irrelevant myth, but then embrace all these new age thoughts of nonsense.
It's not good or bad. There's no God waiting to punish you because you did one another.
There is no God in doing everyone's God. Welcome to the kingdom of heaven, without judgment, without hate, without testing, without anything.
I call my practices and pagan worshiping as act exists. See through the smoke and the mirrors and the mist. From Atlantis to the American fanatical myths, to the UFO connection with the German SS. Secret society elitists from the east and the west. Illuminati and Masonics, man, it all connects. Satanic worship to the depths we don't want to admit. It's a globalized illusion that we gotta correct. Check the symbols and signs like the all-seeing eye. Read the Bible facts to understand the great design. See the writing on the wall, we're living in end times. And even the elective now bought into the lie. Real Satanists are dressed up in their suits and ties, eating the fruit like these fools who think they are divine. They aren't evolved, they're just blinded by ego and pride, living a lie that disguised like Jekyll and Hyde. Can you deny that these times were all prophesied? Read Matthew 24:24, you decide.
There's no such thing as good or bad. Judging takes time and supervision. There are things that I do that I know they're involved in. There are other things that are not involved in. But it's not good or bad. There's no God waiting to punish you because you did one another.
There is no God in doing everyone's God, everyone's God, everyone's God.
All right, what is going on, everyone? Steve J and Mo. It is the 1st of October. Wow,
Or so they say.
believe it, dude. Like yesterday was April 16th, man. Isn't that nuts? Like I don't. Where'd all that time go in between?
I don't know.
They shut down the world, and you'd think the time would start to like go by very slow, but it's just been like boom.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's been going on, since what, end of March is when they start all this craziness.
Yeah. What was St. Patrick's Day weekend? That was
I was supposed to go to a concert that weekend, and I guess we'll never get to go to concerts ever again. Who knows? They instead of offering me a refund, they were offering me to watch them live on like live stream. And I told them go take a hike.
Yeah, right. You have a virtual concert at your house. Get all all
Yeah.
turned
Yeah,
up
you're
on
gonna go
the
like
couch.
this. Woo! Encore, yeah, right.
Right, yo. How would that even work? That's
I
nuts.
don't know. Did you get to go to some concerts? I mean, they're really screwing up your youth, man. I'm sorry for what's going on for everyone, but you guys. Like, did you?
I was never really a concert kind of guy. I kind of always
Yeah.
had a weird feeling about just mass amounts of people giving their energy to one person, you know.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
always thought that was a little, I don't know. You know, that's just me. Like I've been to a couple there, but the the more I went to them, the more I was like, especially like rap, because rap is
Yeah.
like probably hardcore demonic in nature, you know, with the low frequency tones and the scary background music, and everyone's got like devil horns tattooed on them somewhere or
Yeah.
another. So it's crazy. And then the concerts are just even like, you know, it's like a red light or it's like a really dark light, and it's just intense, dude. It's intense, you know.
Yeah.
Like there's some independent rappers I've been to, they have concerts, that's cool, you know, like maybe like 60, 70 people, but if there's like, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 and more, like nah. I've always like thought that was strange. I'll watch a video of Woodstock before I was alive and I'll get chills up my body. I'm like, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You,
right.
you,
They said,
there's a sea of people. There's a sea of people jumping. Like it's awesome, but at the same time, why can't we put our energy towards something that's going to benefit us?
yeah, no, you're right. I agree. But it's fascinating too now that when you wake up to whatever, however you want to call it, what we're doing now, and when you look back at like things, like for instance, my favorite band forever was the Beatles, and I mean, when I was in high school and they shot John Lennon, and I cried. I mean, it broke me because he was like that whole thing was a big part of my childhood through up to high school. And now, if you watch it, I even covered it, but you know, if not, you guys can look for it. You can look up Paul McCartney because they said Paul was dead, but it was a joke and he was really alive. And then John was dead. Well, now Paul McCartney was really replaced. I mean, this is all supposed by this other dude. So it's really not Paul McCartney you're going to see. And when we went to see him, he came out in the Seattle area, like, I don't know how many years back, not too long ago. We went and paid, you know, a decent amount of money to go see Paul McCartney, and we had a great time. He put on an amazing show. Well, now when I look at it, we basically paid a lot of money, went to Seattle for a cover band, right? Because if it's not really Paul McCartney, right? And then if you look at the guy that's living in Paul McCartney's boyhood house, it's a caretaker that just happens to look and sound exactly like Paul McCartney. So there's that. So now I don't even know if the damn guy is alive or dead. Then John Lennon, if you go in and you look in and research his autopsy, the photos don't match up. The bullet holes are in different places where they said he was shot. And there was some, there's just all kinds of weird nonsense. So what happened to that guy? That guy, I don't even know. George Harrison, they killed twice. It seemed like they first tried stabbing him, then he died of cancer, or like 3 others. I don't even know. So who knows who's alive, who's dead anymore? Isn't it weird?
Crazy, dude. It's crazy. And we'll take that a step further real quick, because the same not can be said for me. The same is said about the John F. Kennedy assassination. You know, I don't know what happened there, but I don't think they blew the man away. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at the video, and well, I mean, you look at the video now, there's 6 people in the car. So that's a curveball. You know, that's an instant curve.
And now it looks like his wife actually shoots him. Like all those conspiracy theories. Now she just really literally took a gun under his head just about. It's like that.
Right. She like checks him out like, hey, honey, what's that? Bah. I'm like, yo. And she just jumps out of the car. Because we were all speculating that like 5 years ago with no proof. And now it's like, I'm like, why were we even speculating that? It's crazy. It's crazy.
So garbage now, because now it's probably easier for you to figure this out. But if you look online right now, I didn't know this. Someone pointed out to me. That's fascinating me. Was it Jackie O? She was filmed the rest of the day, different photos. She's still in the bloody dress. Like, does that make any sense? Like, she wouldn't have changed. Like, she had her supposed brains and blood all over, and she's still walking. You see stains on her dress and other photos and stuff. Like, didn't anyone get this woman a towel and give her a change of outfit? No. And so you look at it, the photos, it's ridiculous.
No, it's interesting. Look at some photos of Jackie and just look at them. To me it looks like some little man named Peter. You know, it doesn't look like a female. You can clearly see the old Adam's apple. That's a nice dead giveaway, and it's just nuts, dude. I'm like, so the Kennedys are in on it. JFK never actually went away, and he just destroyed the psyches of people who were, you know, around in the 60s when that happened, you know, because that was their 9/11. And he helped with that, I feel. I don't think they really took him out. It was all part of a plan. He had everyone all fired up. We're going to expose this. We're going to expose that. And then it's a psychological operation for us in the future as well, because you don't want to talk out and end up like JFK. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was really much deeper than that. And then you have George Bush being photographed senior at the library. The dude doesn't remember where he was. Give me a break, dude. He was just the head, the grand master, I think, overseeing the ritual or whatever, the production.
Yeah, no. Oh shoot, I was going to say something that just went out that end. I'll think of it again. But no, he. Oh, I know what it was. So like the 50s, they scared everyone with nuclear weapons. Get under your desk. They're going to bomb you, right? And then the 60s. It was, you're going to get shot, right? You shot JFK, you shot Martin Luther, you shot Robert Kennedy, you shot Oswald, you shot Ruby. Everyone's getting shot, right? Kent State, you can go on and on and on. I think that was the decade of like, we're scaring you with getting shot randomly. Mm-hmm. You know, each decade seems like has their own fear, you know, but this one, they're just like, fuck, we'll just throw everything at you.
It's a bioweapon disease that acts like a terrorist. It's everything in one, dude. It's everything. Like they cover the board.
Two things on that. One is we have to admit, because of the Kernani, terrorism's down. Like that's all gone. I don't hear a single story about any terrorists anymore. That's over.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And then let me see. I'm gonna find it. I'm glad you brought that up because I have. I pulled something to show you. Let's see if I can do this properly. Application. This one. Okay. Check this out. So am I sharing? I'm hoping.
There. Wide open. Let me get the comment off the screen, but we're going to readdress this comment in a minute. Don't let me forget.
Okay. And so where's the play button?
Right in the middle. There you go.
Oh, I see. It's hidden under my screen. Okay, here we go. So what you're saying about the Kernani being a terrorist, bioweapon, and heat-seeking, watch this.
I can't hear it. There's no audio.
No audio. All right. We'll back it up here. Here we go. Sorry, I'm not your normal partner.
Oh, you're gold. You're golden, brother. You're golden.
All right, here we go. We'll try it this way. This way, share audio.
Yeah.
I'll pull it here.
There it is.
We'll go to that one. Now, do you see it?
Perfect.
Okay, let's try again.
Viruses will look for new people to infect. In fact, each infected person infects 3 or more people in the community when we're not practicing social distancing and we're not all wearing masks. The virus will find the person in the group who is not wearing a mask. So we need to work together.
Did you hear that?
Oh.
How classic is that?
Wow. So
the
if you're
virus
not
will find the person.
But if you're at a restaurant sitting down without a mask, you're good. The virus will go right over your head, and because it's in your pocket, it sees that. You're good to go. Imagine that.
I did a video where I think it's like that movie Predator, where he sees the heat, and as long as you have a mask, food, or drink in front of your pie hole, then it'll just move on. It won't see you. That's my theory. There's a lot of theories out there. Like the virus, it's teeming in restaurants. Don't go there. The kitchen's fine. It can't get into the kitchen, and the people that work there are always good. Everywhere else.
Imagine that, dude. It's nuts.
Yeah. And in fact, I'll ask you, because I don't know. Well, wait, I did tell you this. I've shared it with a few people, but there's now a way to detect whether or not you have the virus, and you can find out in 10 seconds, and it's 100% accurate.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. I'll show you that one. It is right here. Okay, this one. And there it is.
There you go.
Dogs. And they're 100% accurate, and they can detect in 10 seconds. So when you go to get on your flight, if the dog sniffs your butt, I'm assuming they'll make you sniff your butt. Then, well, right, isn't that where my dogs usually sniff there themselves? And they can decide whether or not you have it, I guess, which is awesome. And how do you fight this kind of news, Steve? Like, how do you argue with someone? No, they're wrong. You know, they've got science and news on their side. I could say, look, I talked to the dog and he said they're liars. You know what I mean? How do you fight it?
It really, it's a great litmus test. You know?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's to see where people are at, you know, not for them. They know where they're at. The people above, the elites, we'll call them. They know exactly where the public's at, but it's where do we grasp where they're at, you know? If they start saying that, you know, the corona, we have a dog that's going to blah, blah, because 10 seconds, I saw it on the news, Us Weekly, whatever. And it's just, really, what can you say to that? You know, it's because that's fact to them. That's the stone cold fact. But I'll bring them white papers. I'll bring them Event 201. And for some reason, that's made up. I made it up. It's on my website only. Like what?
We showed here, this one I've got, you know, anybody can go on here and see the data, but we showed how the CDC, I also want to go over this real quick, but we showed how the CDC said that their numbers were 96% off on their deaths or whatever. And we sent it to a quote normie, and the response was, I don't know where you get your figures. Well,
nice.
So how do you argue it, you know? But check this out. I know you guys love your numbers. So the population of the U.S. is, here's your 33, by the way, 330 million. And just a few days ago when I did this exercise, there was 200,000 deaths in the United States. And so if you take, let me pull this out here. If you take your 200,000 and you divide it by the 330 million that supposedly live in the United States, you can't make this shit up. There's your number. You can't make it up. Try this at home. It's like a gang that has to tag everything, right? They just got to tag everything.
Are you kidding me?
Try it. 330 million into 200,000 and
Hold on. I got to get some backup in here. What's Bobby doing? Because that's crazy. Normally he'll what the hell is that, dude? That's nuts.
Yeah, because I keep checking the U.S. population, and it just hit 330 million. So they got the 33 finally. And then when I checked it, that's when they were announcing the 200,000 deaths, which now turns out to be what? It's only about 9,000. I mean, the flu each year kills what, 100,000 or 50,000? And this thing kills 9,000 so far. I mean, if we're in a pandemic, where is it, man?
Dude, I'm just blown away. I'm just so distraught from that. Like, what? Like, that's another one, dude. Like, wow. Because they just released the World Order 2020 fucking 060606 patent.
Yeah.
It's the same, but that's the same amount of digits as what you just showed me there. Like, it lines up perfectly with the zeros. Like, if you just fill that in with 2020 and the letter W, you're good to go. You know, it's crazy, dude. That's so crazy. Wow, that's nuts. Here, I'm gonna send Bobby the link because you got to show him that. That's crazy. That's intense, dude.
Yeah. But it's just, you know, they like I said, they have to let you know that they're in charge of this shit. So they just constantly, the numbers show up, you know.
So if I do, what is it again?
There's 300, you know, right now it's rounded. It's 330 million U.S. citizens. And the total deaths, well, this is just a few days ago. I think it's a little bit more, but still, it was 200,000. So you take 200,000 U.S. deaths and you divide it by 333 million or 330 million, and you get all sixes again. And it also says that it's a 0% chance, because if you get more than 1 0 before the 1, it's 0. And there's 3 zeros before you get to a number. You have a bigger chance of getting to a car accident on the way to get tested than you do catching it and dying from it. And in fact, if you get tested, what does that even mean? I know someone that needed surgery for their leg, so they had to go in and get tested. So they got tested. Then they went home. They got the result. They were negative. And then 3 days later, they had their surgery. So if this thing is so dangerous that you can catch it in a second, why would you test them and then send them home for 3 days? You know what I mean? None of it makes sense. Hey, Bobby.
Bobo.
What the hell's going on?
Oh, thank you. Have you been listening, guy?
Yeah.
You hear what he just said?
Yeah, I seen it. I seen the math.
Dude, come on, bro. I was like, I need backup on this because I'm going to end up swearing up a storm. Like, are you kidding me?
I was taking a piss and I had my phone up on the back of the toilet. I was like, "What?"
Dude, right.
So-
I would have right up on it, dude. Are you kidding me?
So I went no hands for a second. Yeah. Works out.
Wow. So what is it again? I do 200,000 or 220,000.
There was, well, I don't know what is it now, but this was like when I did this, I could look it up. It was, a few days back when that day they announced we officially have 200,000. It was like last week somewhere.
Yeah.
And I did the math and it was 200,000 divided by 330 million. And there you go. You get all sixes.
You know, it's funny about that too, is because that they made a really big deal about it. It was trending on Twitter.
The 200, you're right.
Mhm.
Because they wanted everyone to know to figure this out, I guess, because they love us knowing. They just love it.
Wow, dude. I don't like that.
Jen wants a link too.
I'll send it. Oh yeah, she's in the chat. I'm just
Come on,
wow.
bro. Said something in the chat. I thought that's where you saw me.
No, dude. No, I'm way up here.
Because
I got a comment ready to pin.
I was listening to it on the drive home, and then I got home, and then when I got home, it was the dog sniffing COVID.
Oh.
And then I said in the chat, it's like at this point, there's old bloodlines in a room, laughing their asses off, throwing out random ideas to see if we buy it.
Yes. Dude, I'm telling you, when the first thing happened and everyone was racing for the toilet paper, I just pictured that, that movie Trading Places, where the two rich guys, they bet for like $1. I just pictured a bunch of idiots sitting in a room going, all right, what can we make them run on now? Toilet paper. Oh, come on. They'll never go for that. Yeah, they will. All right, I'll bet you $5. And then, all right, now what? How about beans and rice? Okay, sell that on beans and rice.
Yeah.
Now the new thing is I tried to get, what was it? Like spices are running. You can't get them. Spices,
you know what's hard to get now, and I really needed one, and I was able to get one from a friend, so I'm really thankful. Thank you, Jim, out there, who doesn't listen to the show. The computer monitors.
What?
Like I can't get like if I go to Amazon or something like that or Best Buy, like I can get one off of Amazon, but they're not like from Amazon Prime. They're like from a third party seller, and they're like $500 and take like a month to get there. Like for some reason, I don't know if it's anymore, but there was a run for a good 2-3 months where like you couldn't get computer monitors. And I was like, for what? So you can't see the truth. I get it.
You're muted, Steve.
Am I muted? No, it's just my shitty microphone. Don't worry about it.
You're a shitty microphone, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
You heard it earlier. I was trying to talk for like 3 minutes with you, and we had nothing but backstage. Yeah. You saw it in the flesh. But real quick, before we get into anything else, I wanted to pin this comment here for a minute. We were talking about JFK and what that did to the psyche of the the true American patriots, whatever you want to call them back in the day. Imagine if they take the cookie jar out. Imagine that. Not actually, he's obviously not going to die, but he's just going to leave the stage.
He could. I think if they do pull that, I think he will die because I think if he gets. I think if he gets shot and then like he's rushing to a car somewhere and then it's later announced that he's dead, I think there would be like there's enough hate for this guy. They'd be like, no, we want to see it. I think it would be better TV in a weird way to say that if he got shot and killed and was like bleeding out in the street somewhere.
Right. Well, there's another thought though. That sounds like really exciting television, but I mean that's all it is now, right?
It's good ratings.
Yeah. There's also they might want to push their narrative. He could die of the granny. That could be because he's old. He could, and that's what I figured. Because something that Baldini says, I love it. He says, "Never bet against the Simpsons," and they show him in a casket, like KK
casket open. Open casket.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Yep.
That's the thing, dude. And they had that one scene prior election 2016, the one scene where the sign fell. Fuck that. That's perfect. Sorry, but it's what?
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's funny because I
dude.
talk to some people that don't buy in all this, and they're like, yeah, The Simpsons is wild how they could predict the future. And I go, no, you're looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Let's say, Steve, I said to you, hey, I'm not going to do this, but let's say I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to smash your phone soon. And then let's say in a month, I came to your house and I smashed your phone. Are you going to say, wow, he predicted the future? No, I just told you what I was going to do, right? And that's what The Simpsons are. They're like, this is what we want to do. And they cast their spells because they have to keep telling us what they want, because since we have free will, they can't just do it to us. They have to let us, say, yeah, we accept that. And once they get it to the point where they think they can do it, I think that's when they do their plan.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like pro sports, where Tony Romo is now a broadcaster for CBS, and he's been dubbed like this magical man because he's calling all these plays like, watch to the run to the right, and then they run to the right. Oh, watch the pass over the middle. It's number 86, and they give it to 86. And people are like, whoa, like this guy knows he should be a coach. I'm like, he's reading a piece of paper. It tells him the fucking script.
And how hard is it to fake it now? There's nobody in the stands to even hold him accountable for it. It's basically
they're literally, I swear, they have to be doing like cutscenes. Like, all right, we didn't like that one, pass it again, make the pass, asshole.
Why not? Why not? Who would know?
I mean, well, in football, I think there's
it's easier. It's easier.
No, it's
all
easier.
The commercials, dude. Come on.
It's easier in basketball.
Oh, dude, you got me.
Because basketball is first off, it's inside Disney.
Yep.
Right? It's on TV. They already said that it's going to be on a 5 to 8 second delay, maybe even 10, because of we don't want to hear cursing. And the people that are on the jumbo screens are selected to be there. So you got like Obama was on there last night for game 1 of the finals, which I only saw because it was all over Twitter. And you got like Dwayne Wade's on there watching. So there's selected people to watch these games. It's not like you or I watching the Sixers or the Celtics or whatever the case. They're selected people. So I think it'd be easier to do that in NBA than anything else.
And don't forget, like, again, because like you say, it's enclosed. It's so easy to fake it. We already know it's on delay. I mean, the moon landing, let's not go there. But I've watched a commercial, I think it was back, in the 80s? No, it must have been the 90s. It was Michael Jordan. And who's the other guy, the Bird? Larry Bird. It was a McDonald's commercial. And they were like throwing a basketball, and it would like, 2 bounces in the hoop, and then they were doing it from the rafters. And, so if they could do all that stuff, why can't we think that they can't do that?
Or how about, I think it was the 2011 NBA Finals where they had this thing where it was like David Blaine was like, are they really making incredible shots? Or maybe they're using magnets, and he put magnets on a ball and he threw the ball on one side of the court, and he full court shot and swooshed it. And it was supposed to be like this promotion because he had like I don't know if he had like a halftime show or some bullshit, but like, I don't know why David Blaine was promoting the NBA, but it was like the magnet thing was going on. Yeah. See?
Magnet rims and magnet balls. Yeah. And someone was saying that about baseballs too. I don't know. I had some foul balls and I tried a magnet and I didn't get anything. So I don't know.
Well, no, in baseball, and now it's widely known, is that they juice the balls. So they the way they make the balls, they can make them certain ways to where if you hit them, they go further because they want action. I think baseball would be the hardest one to fix, like as the players doing it, because I can't even throw the ball in the same place 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
I don't care how big they are.
I mean, I know there's very athletic people that really can do those things. That's why they use those people. But there's also, like you say, they enhance it. So, yeah. And I truly believe that the football players practice those. Oh, hey, Jill, it's a mask. Oh, no. Catwoman's here.
Hi. Is this the masquerade party? Am I late?
Yeah.
Well, the only mask I even own is that one, but it doesn't quite fit in with this crowd. So,
This is the first I've worn a mask, so I'm a little self-conscious, but, I figured since everybody else is, participating in this masquerade that I would put my mask on today.
I'm buying that COVID Halloween mask 1,000%. Only because we called it 3 months ago that they were going to have Halloween and Christmas masks, and well, here it is, the day 1 of October. Go get your COVID mask. I can't wait.
It's ridiculous.
Banning Halloween.
You can't
Nuts, dude.
Yeah, I've seen that. Some places are saying, "Hey, since all this, craziness, you don't want to get sick. We're going to hang our candy from a tree. Like, let's keep complete. I mean, not that I buy into the Halloween thing, anyways, but let's just take all human interaction out of everything now. So now your kids go up to a tree and pull down a bag.
Yeah, they're redefining what fun is what it seems like.
Yeah.
I mean, the holidays already effed as it is of what exactly it really stands for. But I mean, I see grown adults drive up to McDonald's every day and grab their Big Macs out of a window. You're telling me kids can't? I mean, first off, kids wear a full mask on Halloween. So what's the most safest holiday to do during a pandemic? And they're taking it away because
you don't want the kids to have any fun. It's really sad what they're doing to this.
They're torturing.
I gotta say, guys, this whole thing, like with McDonald's, I used to work at McDonald's when I was younger. I don't understand how that they could stay 6 feet apart working inside McDonald's. You have to hand things to people, exchange different things. It means you got to get, within 6 feet or closer to deal with somebody that you work with. What if you're trying to go to the back for something and you got to go past the grill cook or something? Sometimes it's a narrow space and everything. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me how some places like McDonald's, which is, of course, is Illuminati bloodline family owned, can stay open, no problem. But the mom and pop store, the church down the street's got to close.
Yeah,
what's going to happen with Thanksgiving? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I'm sure a video or two that I've talked about it. It's like I was talking to Steve about it earlier. So the restaurants, like mom and pops, they're teaming with it. You can't go near them because you'll die. Yeah. But the kitchen's fine. You can take out as much as you want because it can't get through to the kitchen side of the restaurants, right? That's all. And Home Depot and Walmart and large stores, those are okay. Mom and pops, no good. And any box from Amazon that comes from China, even though China's the one that's supposed to try to kill us, that's fine too. By the way, there was a Simpsons where Homer opened up a package because some Chinese dude cocked a virus into it and he got it. So
I remember that. What's crazier? I saw a video where the regular looking whatever they are, the masks, they're like the medical ones that come from China. Some of them had microchips in them. For whatever that's worth.
I saw that. You could pull that thing out. It was like a wire in there and it had it. Yeah,
that's
dude. Wild. But because that's the other thing about China. Supposedly, majority of our pharmaceuticals come from there. Well, why are we buying pharmaceuticals from the people that are also sending us viruses? Like, there's no logic anymore. It's gone.
CeilingFanMan, that's just like us buying oil from the Saudis in Iraq when we have all this oil here in Alaska, but we are contractually promised to send that oil exported out so we could be buying the Saudi oil. You see, I mean, none of it is logical. We have literally pathological psychopaths running the show, and most of them are gay and pedophiles as well. These are the people that are running the world.
But fossil fuels. I'm sorry, I was just saying gas should be like $10,000 a gallon because fossil fuel. How many dinosaurs are left? Right? I mean, if that's the only way we get fuel, I don't understand why it keeps going down. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry, buddy.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. That's okay. I started reading the chat and I got lost. That's okay. What were you saying, Jen? What did you say? Fuel my mind. You said something a minute ago.
It's just like the hypocrisy of everything. It's not even logical what they're doing, yet people follow along and do what they're told. And we do it. See, the thing is when they started to form corporations, we were screwed after that. You never get to talk to the top guy who's in charge. You have to deal with all the middle management people. And that's why it's hard to make a difference because we're in Chimerica. We're in the Corporation of America, and we are its employees. And we're trying to get to the head bosses upstairs, and you can't ever get to them. You just got to deal with all the middlemen people.
Yeah.
It rolls downhill, guys.
I was going to say, another interesting little backwards frontwards thing is you have a dude who sells us computers that get nothing but viruses, Bill Gates, and he's the one who's curing the virus.
I like it.
I mean, there you go. It's so pathetic. It's ridiculous.
Did you know that his big come up was making viruses? So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Whatever. Not his big come up. His tech.
I didn't think it could get any creepier than that one video where he says, if we, use enough vaccines and things, we can lower the population. And then he had that one next to his wife, and
Robin
they're
Williams.
like, yeah, and they're like, nobody listened to the first time around, but they'll listen this time, and then they both laugh. Like it's like every James Bond evil genius movie I ever saw. They're like, you know what I mean? It's like, really?
No, that was like Klaus Schwab getting on TV a couple of weeks ago. He's like, the disease is no good. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm like, that's not good. What is that? London pound cake. Sounds like some marijuana. Oh, there it is. It is marijuana.
So pretty.
Yeah, you smoking the devil's lettuce, Jen.
Really, really good.
I have a strange feeling the ceiling fan man dabbles in the lettuce as well.
Oh, maybe there's a little bit around. Who knows?
It's so loud. You can smell this shit a mile away. It's so loud.
That Bill Gates thing you're talking about, it reminded me of like when SNL people break character, they laugh in the middle of their lines.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, just a B-class actor, brother.
Like, whoops.
Yeah.
But it's the funny thing is they don't care. They don't care because no one cares.
And that's part of the externalization of the hierarchy that Steve's always mentioning. They don't care because it's all coming out in the open now, and they think that they're supposed to win the game. But in the apocalypse, the time of the revealing, all is supposed to be revealed. See, they can't stop it from happening, so they're going to go with it full bore, and throw it all in our faces. It's kind of like Flat Earth. They knew that was going to come out at some point.
Do you think all these actors and all these different people that are, that we see all the time, and now that our eyes have changed as far as how we see the world, did they always act and look like this?
Yeah.
Or did they change themselves, or are we just seeing them the way they really are? Like no, the veil's been lifted.
The veil's been lifted because when I go back now and I watch, there was one when George Bush Sr. was running and Barbara Bush was having an interview, and her eyes were wide open, and every question she got, she said at the end of it, she would say with wide eyes, and that every American person can wake up knowing they're safe in an America run by George Bush. And she said that every single time. And it was just like that mind washing thing.
Yeah.
And I watched that video.
That goes back to the 90s or whenever that was. It is creepy as hell. Or how about the video of Bill Clinton when he's getting the makeup done for his interview and he's just zonked?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
It's always been that way. That we just didn't notice it. Well, first we didn't notice it because we didn't have a YouTube where those things are archived.
Oh, I can see now.
So we can go back. Or we didn't have GoPros or weather balloons. We couldn't buy weather balloons in the 90s. They were like hundreds of dollars, if not thousands. Now me, you, and we can all take a weather balloon with a GoPro and go see the Earth. Just let it go.
They call those satellites.
Yeah, we can go buy satellites and put a GoPro up there, and it will show you. I love those videos. I watch those videos all the time.
Yeah. Well,
take a look at you do it, this guy. Wow,
yeah, Bobby, do your due diligence. That's your Philly boy.
Oh, is it?
But it's like you look at. Isn't it great though? Because of whether it's just our eyes seeing them correctly or absence of adrenochrome or absence of attention, but the people in Hollywood, they're looking horrible. Like all the guys are looking like women and the women are looking like guys, and their faces are all just getting all gaunt and weird and
then acting strange too.
Yes.
Jimmy Kimmel looks like his dog just died every day, every day, dude. Like, come on, and he does live streams from his house, dude, and it's like this is his background. I'm like, dude, you look like you're at some loser's house, my house. Like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, you're a billionaire or whatever.
Did you see that table read that they did?
I was just going to talk
about
Fast
Times at Ridgemont High. Did you see Shiloh LaBeouf? Everybody's saying hi to each other, and he's in a car. It looks like some fucking abandoned car that he's living in now, wiping his face with a towel over and over again. While the rest of them are just talking about, nobody even mentions him or says hi to him. And he looks like he's just bugged out of his brain. He's been smoking crack for a while.
Well, he probably has been, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
But that kid all up.
I didn't watch the thing. I was watching it. Somebody did a breakdown. Someone did a breakdown on it, but I did check out because it was promoted because Jen and Brad Pitt were going to be together again, right? And so they were playing the parts of the whatever. But the weird part was their whole scene was when Phoebe Cates comes out of the pool and Brad's playing Brad. Well, that scene, do anybody knows that movie, which I love that movie growing up, but that scene is where, right, there's basically one, I think she says that, like 3 words maybe. She says, "Hi, Brad, and I always liked you," or something. And then the rest is music, and she takes her top off. So what do you get? It's a table read. Like, so it was just them staring at each other as Morgan Freeman goes, Brad takes his pants down and starts. It's just like, it was so gross. It was.
And I want to mention, Jennifer Aniston is a man, and he is not aging well. He's looking like shit.
They're all aging terrible.
Terrible.
Johnny Depp. What about Johnny Depp? He looks terrible. Have you seen him? Looks like a heroin addict.
I'm like,
dude, they're running out of juice, dude. They're running out of that adrenochrome stuff.
For that motherfucker. Oh, by the way, finding good heart residue. Go back and watch old vampire movies where they stab they have to put the heart, the wooden stake through the heart.
That's a good idea.
There's a few where I find where they do it right in the center of the chest. I have seen those, but if you go back further, like the later ones and stuff, or the older ones, I mean to say, you'll find that they stick that stick right on the side, on the left-hand side, and plunge it in.
And one of my favorite movies was that Clint Eastwood movie, A Fistful of Dollars. And he walks down the street, and there's a guy that has a rifle, and he can kill a man from a huge distance because he always aims for the heart. And so Clint Eastwood, he gets a steel plate and puts it under his thing. And the guy does a perfect several shots, and they're all right in that one area. Now, if that guy was such a great shot, he's obviously missing every one because he was shooting out from the left.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting.
Why does everyone call me when I'm on something? Yeah, this guy outside. Just to give you an update, it's blankets. It's just blankets, man. There's like one little piece where I think I can see some regular sky, but it's just all purple and pink blankets of clouds.
I was gonna say it's like purple, right? Ceiling Fan, you told me you had purple clouds yesterday, so they must be making their way over here now.
Well, I had it wasn't yesterday, but I'll pull it up. I actually filmed it, and I don't understand why no one went lose their mind. But there was a day out here where everything turned purple for like a couple hours, I believe. Wow. And it was like, I would have thought people would have been talking about that for years in my past life, but now it's just Tuesday. You know what I mean?
2020, yeah, no big deal.
Anything goes in 2020, baby.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. It's not that anything goes, just anything's normal, Like, you're just effing a cow, no big deal. High five.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You guys know why that's happening.
It has to be all inclusive, right? Steve. If someone
I have my theories, Bobby.
I could send it, but I could show it on here if it'll work. Let's see. I'll hit play. Okay, come on, focus camera.
How do I do that? Where are you?
I might have to put it online because it's not showing how purple.
You know what? Just email it to me real quick.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll send it to you.
No, so
it's nuts. But
no, so my theory, and every day I just believe it more, which is, I don't know, that's good or bad, but it's going to be the year because it's 2020, right? So hindsight, right?
Vision.
So we're going to look. So the people who get vaccinated and all that, they're going to look back as this is the year we turned around and became better. This is when we learned about ourselves and we started caring for it, and we started believe science and all that crazy conspiracy got killed. This will be the year, the turning point for that.
Ben thought that. Nuts, dude.
They're going to look back at 2020 and say that was such a shitty year. It was so shitty we ran out of toilet paper.
I hope they look back and be like, I hope they look back and be like, that was the year we all should have stood up, That was the year of the takeover, the technocracy, the viruses, media, the fakery.
Remember, when you get that vaccine, you lose God.
I'm good.
That article was legitimately like terrifying,
dude. Right, and I thought, dude, I saw it on Days of Noah's YouTube page, and I thought he was like just adding words in like we do, and I'm like, wait, that's on the website, dude. Like, what? I'm like, that's nuts, bro. That's nuts.
So I sent it to you, Steve.
So you got it in the email? All right. Okay. Well, look at that. And then I want to show Jen something that someone just brought this random place to my attention, and it's worth my attention. Let's put it that way. It's interesting. You're gonna love it, Jen. It's just random, awesome, crazy things in the woods in Connecticut. Apparently,
Cool.
yeah, just blows me. It's a hospital. Yeah. Okay.
How about when I was filming today? I
had me going nuts, bro. And I saw a couple more videos that ironically related to that off grip. I was like, why is everyone showing me pentagrams today?
Bro, that was the third school bus I saw today.
That's nuts, dude. You know, I'll bring that up after this too.
Yeah, school bus stopped in front of my house today. I heard these squeaky brakes. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh my God, there's a school bus out front.
Bigger. Let's hide that. Look at that. We're going into warp space. There we go. You see that?
Yeah, it's pretty purple.
Isn't that weird? And I can look it up what time it was during the day.
That's nuts.
Isn't that wild? That's the sunset doing that? I mean, what causes that? Come on.
Just codeine overdose, dude. I don't know. That's nuts.
Why? If that had happened in a regular world, people would have been talking about that forever. Like, I show that to people and they're like, oh, that's interesting. And that was it, you know? Okay, it was 8 o'clock at night. So it was towards the sunset, I guess. But that was the weirdest sunset I ever seen.
For real.
I want to go here.
Yeah, let's go.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Can you see this? Yeah, bro. So someone just hits me up there. They're like, you ever been to Mansfield, Connecticut Hospital? I'm like, no. I'm like, why the fuck would I be there, dude? Like, what are you talking about? It's like, oh, me and my buddies are going late tonight. You want to tag along? I'm like, let me look this place up. And this is the first image I get. I'm like, nah, you boys have fun on the old red brick fucking building with fucking pillars and whatever, you know, Antiquitech on top. I'm all set. You guys are going to talk to something probably like 16 feet tall in reality, but just can't manifest itself due to the restraints that are on the bottomless pit and whatnot right now.
And once again, look at the size of the opening of those buildings. Like, why were they making them that big? Who the heck needed to walk through there?
To the hospital. You know, wouldn't you want that
They'll
place
tell
to be
you something like we want it to look official.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
There's your front, dude. Like, are you kidding me?
First off, look at the actual door.
Yeah.
And then look at the doorway.
Thank you.
And then the pillars.
Yeah.
Thank you. David Goliath and Aga Bashan put those up or something.
And don't forget the pyramid on the top.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, it's that Roman style that we see all over the world from apparently thousands of years ago.
Nuts, dude. So not a little research. I just read this over here. Apparently, it was an active hospital from 1860 to 1993. There's that 1860s area that I'm always like blibber blabbing about. That could have been some sort of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Blibber blabbing.
Blibber blabbing, dude. Something happened before the Civil War.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know what it was, but I think they're calling it the Revolutionary War, and it was probably a revolution of getting stuff out of the mud after or whatever, you know, or digging up this crap and rediscovering, I don't know, places like this. And, oh, this is just a hospital. Oh, bet. Okay. You know,
if I had to put a pin in time where I think like where we started, like from the reset, it would probably be like, it's going to sound stupid, but like 1775, 76. That's because that's when like the Bavarian Illuminati started.
Yes.
Thank you.
I agree.
So and then from that Illuminati pillar is where we came from with like George Washington and Freemasons and shit like that.
Well, you know, there's some photos that I pulled for you, Steve. You can look if you want to look at some of them. But they've done this, whoever they are. They've done this before, obviously we know. But let me pull this up. I'll show you. Am I sharing? So
wow, we got 100 live, by the way. Thank you for coming.
Hello.
So the reason I talk about not wearing a mask and stuff is because I can't. There's no way I'm going to want to live in a world where this is normal, right? But
it seems fake, dude. Like
they've done it before. Check this out, because I did a research on this and I started looking up into consumption, which was tuberculosis. And I found pictures. They've done this before.
What the fuck?
Hey, at least the kids back then could hold hands.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Look at that. The other thing is they set up these sanitariums where sick people would go. But the thing is supposedly hundreds of thousands, like a huge amount of the population died of this tuberculosis consumption. But you could only pass it if you had it active. And then if you did, they'd take you to a sanitarium where you would, they put the beds outside so they get fresh air and sunlight. So I don't know what's changed now where they're trying to take that away, obviously, and make it. But isn't that something? And then I also found some photos in the 50s, too. Oh, I thought this was funny. This photo, everyone can laugh and say that that's not real, right? But the other photo of the Tesla in space, that one, we have to say is I don't know where it happened to my Tesla in space. But now I'm all messed up here. Hang on. Come on. I messed up your show again.
I think it's because of the occult of authority. People believe the authority. They think NASA's an authority, so they believe but this is just a picture.
Real. Yeah. That's real. You have to believe that's real. But if you go, this is cool too. They tell you that if someone's having trouble breathing and you have to put a towel over their face.
Yeah, I saw that.
Why not just use a pillow and call it a day? You know what I mean?
Let's suppress the breath even harder.
Yeah, they're having trouble breathing. Yeah.
You're gonna kill them.
But there's no way I'm gonna live with this. There's a gal, Heather Thunderhawk. She did a video and talked about this, and I did a video called Mask because this broke my heart seeing these pictures. And I ended up I was
one eye symbolism.
Right. Oh yeah, right. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad. Not good.
But I ended up I was crying as I was making the video because this is not the world I want my kids and grandkids to live in.
Exactly.
New normal lifestyle.
Yeah. And let's shoot a laser right at your third eye. I'm sure nothing will go wrong there. And here you go in the 50s. See, they've been doing this shit to us forever. And
you know
they
what
do
I
it
think?
over and over.
Real quick. Let me interject on the whole 50s stuff. I think that, they did in the 50s and then even further back, you're showing those black and whites. Those are probably, 90, 100-year-old pictures, probably. To me, it shows that two things. Obviously, they're trying to normalize it, throughout time immemorial. But I think that at every step throughout the generations, one of these occult groups tries to take a step forward and tries to do the agenda then and now. Like we saw Hitler back then and whatever. He tried to just take the New World Order on his shoulders and bring it in. He almost did, but it wasn't ready yet. So the higher elites, sat down at a table and he, had a Kobe Bryant incident. He disappeared. And, it works like that. And I feel like probably the people who were pushing these real heavy back in the day had interesting events happen to them or,
But, the thing is besides like putting a mask on a baby, this view for a baby is so traumatizing. I mean, talk about 9/11 on steroids. All of these babies being born are seeing this, or not necessarily this, but they're seeing masks. They're definitely seeing this.
Just makes me think like my grandpa. He had no remorse for nothing. I'm like, maybe he was in a situation like that when he was born or whatever. Because that'd F it up. You probably have a couple things missing.
All those gas masks remind me of Pink Floyd, The Wall. That's what I was thinking of when I was.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I found out that they've done this multiple times.
Well, yeah, it's like he just brought up Hitler. Like I actually think Hitler played his part perfectly. It was never his job to take into the New World Order. It was just to push us further because every time something big happens, whether it be a Hitler or 9/11 or Pearl Harbor, whatever the case, they take the inch, right? So 9/11, the Patriot Act. Like that's the most recent thing. But now they can spy on you, look into your emails, look into this, look into that. And that was back in 01, 02. I mean, and do they ever tell us, hey, the Patriot Act is back up for voting. Do you still want it? No. It's just always there forever now. Like, remember
the thing
you don't get it, Bobby. It's there for your safety. Come on, Bobby.
Exactly.
The thing with the whole Hitler situation, I feel like that, like you said, it was it was obviously he was allowed to do what he was doing, but at the same time, I don't think that he knew that he was allowed. I think he was just going for it. He didn't know that his leash was just let a little loose. I think he thought he was completely off the leash. And that worked to, the leash holder. It worked to their benefit, the New World Order people, because now with him doing that and getting as far as he did and manipulating and brainwashing an entire population, it's good notes to go back on. Makes it a lot easier to do in 2020 when the population is 200 times fucking stupider. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the average IQ back? Whatever the IQ is, the common sense in the world back in the 30s and 20s was probably way the F up here. Now it's like way below par. We're
in the movie Idiocracy.
I was just saying that the other day, dude. I used to watch that movie as a kid. I'm like, this is the most stupid movie ever. I'm like, why am I in this stupid movie now? It's crazy.
In fact, they thought about putting Gatorade on the crops. We're way past that. Like, we don't just see what happened in Seattle. Those crops, funny.
The presidential debate that they just have proves
that was nice.
Yeah, it proves it.
That was real nice.
That shit was ridiculous. Hysterical. It was so funny.
I put it on for a second and I hear this Wallace guy who's supposed to be the mediator between this whole thing saying, no, Mr. President, you need to be quiet. And I'm like, this fucking dude just yelling at the president like he ain't nobody and shit. Like, it's so skewed and strange.
And he's supposed to be for Fox News. Those are supposed to be his friends. I'd love to hear what happens when he goes on like CNN or something.
You see, that's how that should tell you right now that it's not real. Because if I was the president in a debate and I'd be like, "You're fired. Go, leave."
Yeah.
He's the president of the world, basically, and Biden's calling him a clown and shut the hell up. And I'm like, I've never seen anything like this. It's not.
It's the most immature thing I've ever seen. It's like watching two fucking kids argue with each other or something.
It was like watching the two old men. No, well, not only wrestling, but it was like the two old man Muppets.
Oh yeah, the guys up in the balcony.
When they bicker, that's what I saw.
It just reminds me of Back to the Future when they're at the bar scene in number 2, and they got, I don't even know who you obviously had your blue and your red, and they're just going at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Just reminded me of that. It's crazy, and here we are. I'm surprised they didn't do that. I'm surprised it wasn't a virtual debate.
There's another thing about, I don't want to say the V word, but we all know what it is when you get the injection thing. But let me show you something else that I came across.
Dude, I was like, what is this dude talking about right now?
I don't know what you're allowed to say or not anymore, I don't
We're not allowed to
bring it on.
We're not allowed to talk, period. So you might as well just say it.
See this? Okay, so these were like Hiroshima and Nagasaki down here. And then this is like, I think, Mount Everest or something. But they show, I don't even remember here's Castle. Anyways, this one, the Tsar bomb, which went off in Russia.
When?
I'd have to look up. I forgot the date. But it was like the biggest thing ever. They said that there was, they said there was no, the radiation immediately left. It doesn't like settle like they used to say it would settle for like centuries and nothing could live there and no one could do anything, right?
Yeah.
But it turns out Hiroshima and Nagasaki, there was always people there. Chernobyl, there's always been life there. It's always, so when I looked into it, I said, okay, but what about all the people that died from the radiation poisoning in Hiroshima and Nagasaki? And the deeper I looked into it, guess what I found out? The people that supposedly died of the poisoning and all the horrible radiation was like up to 10 years later is when all this started showing up, all the defects and stuff. What happened right after Hiroshima and Nagasaki? You can look it up. Mandatory vaccinations for both those cities with about 30 or 40 different things. Mandatory. Okay. So right after all the vaccines. I don't know. So
coincidence? This proves a point that I was just going to make about Hitler before we got talking about this. everything is scripted. Hitler was an actor, just like we have these actors here in America on stage and stuff saying they're the president and all this other stuff. They're appointed to do these things, and they're the front men for the people in the audience to see as, okay, well, he's, the Fuhrer of Germany. He's trying to take over the world, or he was off trying to look for those religious artifacts and all this stuff when he was actually looking for other things inside melted buildings. But yeah, he's definitely, I think Hitler was controlled. Whoever these people who are above all the front men that we see on the world stage in his story, there's a group of people behind them who are steering the story and putting these people in power. We already know supposedly the United States takes down and puts in dictators in the Middle East, like left and right. And appoints different people, their appointments around the world and everything, the queens and everything. There's people behind them this is all a show. Everybody that you see in the news, or if you ever heard of them or anything like that, they're famous or in office or whatever, they are the front men, they're the faces. But there's a whole nother level behind that that's orchestrating this whole thing. And nothing's ever what it seems. World War II was not what it seemed. It's all a lie.
Yeah.
You're this bomb you asked me about, the Tsar Bomba, which is funny. It sounds like Obama. Tsar Bomba. It was 1961. Russia detonated it in the North Pole, of course, which doesn't exist now.
Right before Halloween, right?
That's what happened.
In the North Pole.
Let's see.
In the center of the flat plane.
If I remember my history correctly, quotation, I believe it was the day before or right before Halloween.
It could maybe, and I might be wrong. I think it was Antarctica. Let me look. I forgot, but I did this a while back.
Was it? If it's the North Pole, that's very bad.
And they said there's no blast crater because they exploded above the ground. And
even worse, dude. Were they trying to shoot God out of the sky with a nuclear warhead, bro?
I mean,
that's what it seems like. If you're aiming at the North Pole, what else could you be aiming at? Knowing what these people know, bro.
They said it equaled 58 megatons of TNT.
What does that even mean?
And I don't even know. But I think maybe it's Antarctica, but I'll have to find it. But go ahead.
Antarctica.
Again, part of the storyline is a part of the narrative. We don't know if it actually happened. There's no blast crater. All we have is their information and their numbers. So these kinds of things, even like Hiroshima and Nagasaki, or Chernobyl, those things should have been dead. Like, okay, look at Fukushima in 2011. We were supposed to already be all dead from that radiation. I think these are just more scare tactics, and they don't actually have or use these type of weapons, but they put it out there. Historical timeline to make us believe that they do have these weapons, they do test them, and they can fall on us at any minute. Just like an asteroid can fall on us, or terrorists can get us, or a virus, all unseen enemies.
Right, because no one has seen this. I found out it was the Novaya Zemlya. Zemlya? Zemlya, they lie. Zemlya sounds like Zemlyas. It was detonated at 11:32 a.m. and it was north of the Arctic Circle on this island in the Arctic Sea, and it was October 30th, 1961.
Boom.
You're right, Bobby. Yep, you got it.
Useless information.
Well, we know that's the date, don't we, Bobby, from that fucking calendar? So.
Why shoot it straight into the air in the North Pole?
Science, dude. What are you talking about?
They're sciencing the shit out of this, Steve.
Yeah. You just don't know science and math, Steve. That's the problem.
Like literally, he could read anything he could find, and it's all just comes down to because we just wanted to see what it would do. That's all science ever is.
Operation Fishbowl, when after we retreated from Antarctica, we started shooting missiles straight up.
I get that. But the North Pole, that's kind of that's a no-go zone, bro.
I think it was it says the Arctic Circle, so whatever.
Same thing, dude.
Same thing, yeah.
You're in the Arctic Circle pointing straight up. Yeah. What do you think you're shooting at, bro?
As above, so below.
Right, dude.
That they can get to the North Pole. I think that the forces that are there are so strong that they can't penetrate it because
they can't get to the island.
That say, some of the ships that tried to go through some of them, those 4 waterways, got to a point in that river where they couldn't turn back and they were getting sucked in because there's a whirlpool effect. And then once they got to another certain point, that this electromagnetic Mount Meru or whatever the hell it is started pulling out all the nails and shit from their boats because it was magnetic, and their boats would just fall apart.
Yeah, I feel like you probably it's probably like that movie The Dark Tower, where like you can't go if you're like a regular person, but if you're pure in heart and innocent, most likely probably a child, you could probably walk right through the water, be fine. Just take a swim up the river, good to go. But you got some people who've been exposed to the just degrading and just terribleness of this world. It takes a toll on you at some point, and it does damage to you internally. And that things like that would be able to tell. I feel like it's something spiritual and inside of you like that, because they're not going to let some a-holes with tanks and guns go through the the sacred rivers. Like that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Unless they were trying to go downstairs. I feel like it worked no problem.
They don't let anybody go up there or over there or in there or whatever. They have it all blocked off. They go to where the most furthest point that they can make it to, and they know they can't go past it, and they ain't going to let anybody else try to go past it. Just like Antarctica. They got both
that's to save come on, Jen. That's to save the penguins. Every country in the world, even the ones that hate each other, all agree we should save the penguins. So I understand that treaty.
Like, what do you guys feel about Admiral Byrd's diary? Since,
I bought into that whole thing. The Admiral Byrd, I'm like, oh my God, he went on TV and then he was dead after that. They wouldn't allow that if they wanted. They wanted that information out because they want us to look at that area instead of this area. It's the old magician trick. Hey, check out the South Pole. It's got all kinds of new, what is it, plutonium and all kinds. Don't look at the North Pole. In fact, we'll take it off the map.
Yep.
But what about the diary? What about his diary about the North Pole? Did you guys you ever read that at all?
Is that where his plane got taken down into the interior?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen that.
That's interesting stuff.
Admiral Byrd, he was. They don't put out. They don't put it out anything that they don't want put out. We don't.
Yeah,
we're not.
He was one of them. He was one of them for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
I do believe they give us information.
They give you some pieces along the line, though. I feel like that could have been a bit. I don't think that was a psyop, because a lot of people looked at that and were like, "Yeah, okay, crazy man." But if you look at it, with knowing a couple things, if you look at that off grip, you're like, "Yeah, right, okay, whatever." But if you look at it with another spectrum, you add the Bible and cosmology and even melted buildings to the fact it's like, oh, I wonder who you're going to see inside there,
The story that they've let leak out or say, like, we found his diary, look what he wrote, is that he went there and he saw some people there and they were told, hey, look, stop blowing up shit. We're going to come out and fuck your shit up. Go tell your friends that we said it. So if we invert that, the story would actually go, he flew in there. He could only get to a certain point. They saw this crazy massive thing in the center that seems to be controlling whatever's going on up here. And there's some frequency to it and everything like that. And there's actually nobody there. You know what I'm saying? But it's a mechanism that's, like the cog in the wheel there. That's the center part. It's the major piece to our puzzle for our flat plane. So, I mean, as interesting as the story goes, that his plane was, picked up on a tractor beam and taken down into the hollows of the earth where he met the Atlanteans or something. And, his grace of, fantastic people and everything.
Aquaman, yo.
I'm not sure if I buy that story anyway. I think that's what it is. It's a story because you always have to look at the opposite of everything that they're telling us. And I think that there's other things up there that they don't want us to know about, like the Grand Canyon. There's so many parts of the Grand Canyon that humans are not allowed to go to because they know people are going to find entrance ways into these buildings and pockets of survival everywhere. Or there's all these ancient sites that have places in them where people just are not allowed to go to. And this is why they won't let people in, is because they're hiding all this, what possibly could be not even just Antiquitech, but people will figure it out that this is not a mountain, this is a building. Or how does this mountain have all these tunnels in it that are perfect brick and all this stuff? And what's this sitting over here and stuff?
Well, maybe they'll see all the energy that's still being used down there. When they make these plasma explosions that you were showing the other night, Jen.
Yeah,
maybe we see the equipment.
And there was trillions or quadrillions of people on the planet before us, right? Then they would have to they probably haven't even investigated most of the crap that's probably still out there to be found because the civilization was so vast. Look at the geography of the landscapes and everything. Buildings were everywhere. So, and there's always people coming upon new caves or new like sinkholes or whatever like that. I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah.
Well, real quick. Back to the bird thing. So you don't think there's no coincidence that he got talked to by some Atlantean blonde-haired, blue-eyed giants in the 20s, and then come the 30s and 40s, that's Hitler's go-to. That's his go-to.
No, I think that
there's no parallel there. That's just a coincidence.
That's a coincidence. Put that up on the shelf, Steve.
Yeah, well, I can't put it on the shelf.
Look what I found. We got back when remember the day when you could go to stores? Oh, I remember those days. But I got this book. It's a map book from the 1920s, like 1925. And I've shown it before, but it actually has a North Pole still on it, which most maps don't.
Nice.
If I get it to focus.
Good residue.
So, yeah, it's kind of cool and there are actually some cities on it and stuff, too, that you can look at. But for some reason, it's not focusing because it doesn't want to. Come on, focus. There we go.
Yeah.
See that?
See them.
Look at that.
That's crazy.
So I don't know what, it's no longer around the North Pole, supposedly, like it's gone. So
yeah,
there's that.
Sea levels haven't risen, so there's that. But even if you go back on the old maps and globes, it's not there. It's a Mandela
sea
effect.
level. They were crying about that at the debate. It was like, clearly sea levels have risen. I'm like, oh, Joe Biden, you have like 10 houses on the beach. Are they gone? No. So shut up. Like, what's wrong with you?
You know who else talks about Atlanteans?
Who?
But my good friend Thomas DeLonge from the Blink 182, now UFO chaser.
It's all just a coincidence. All these occult people have these blonde-haired, blue-eyed people.
He said there's places in California where it's like regular people can't go.
Mm-hmm.
But this punk rock dude who talked about fucking dogs for 20 years, he's allowed to go there. And he's like, isn't it weird? Like, is it in his interview? He's like, don't you think it's weird that some of these places, like the DOD and the DOJ or whatever, has Atlantean statues outside of their headquarters? And I'm like, what? And he goes into this whole spiel as one interview a couple years ago about Atlanteans.
And how about the fact that all these heads of state and stuff, they all got to go see the penguins? Like they're constantly going there. Yeah.
They're all Batman fans.
The fallen angels, before they fell, they had like this glowing blonde hair and blue eyes and shine to them and everything. And even in that one passage in the Bible where those two angels went to Sodom and Gomorrah and went to that guy's house, like, they were beautiful and all this stuff. And the people were trying to fuck them and everything like that. Maybe these Palladians or Nordics or blonde hair, blue eyed people that they're encountering are fallen angels that still look their beautiful forms. They're not actually inner earth civilizations and all this stuff like the Atlantean.
No, it's all based on a lie.
Yeah. And the things that they're encountering in the North Pole or the center of our plane are guardians of that realm right there. And they're like, yeah, you can't come in here. You ain't up here. You're way down here or whatever. But yeah, I think it's odd that they're all talking about it. But of course, they're going to be like, oh, they're Palladians from Pallades up there. They're not going to tell you the truth that they're actually fallen angels or from, the heavenly realms or something like that.
I mean, they're kind of telling you. They're just using different terms for where they came from. I mean, at least they're pointing upwards when they say they came from up here.
Yeah,
but they want you to believe they came from a different planet. Well, yeah, but we know we're not stupid. We're not going to fall for it. But at least they kind of give you half truth, right? Well, they came from up here, from another planet on a different. Oh, you were almost there. Golly, you had it. You had it.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
I hate people so much.
I know you do.
No, it's just because it's like it's not even that they're lying to us. That we can see, and we can see past it now. It's just a fact of like how deep it is, and like there's so much noise talking about this, that, and the third, and they're still looking at you and go, no, No, they're wrong. We're right. It's just like, bro, you've been had. It's like catching somebody stealing. They had the TV in their hand, they got the mask over their face, and they're like, "What? No, I'm here to take it to the shop to get it repaired. I'm not stealing it." Okay, it's 3 a.m. You broke in my hand. There's glass on the floor. You broke in. No. Remember, you ordered. No, like they're just lying right to your face, and they think you're stupid enough to go. You know what? I think maybe he's telling me the truth the 4th time he said it. It blows my mind. Who's texting me?
Come on. Who's texting Bobby right now?
Hey, Robert.
It's not me, but my dogs are going off, so I muted.
It says,
okay.
Hi, Robert. Millions of us are mobilizing to remove Donald Trump and elect new leaders. Can we count on you to remind 3 friends to vote this November? Reply, stop to unsubscribe. Jerry, a move on volunteer. I text back. I don't partake in the B system, you numbnut. I am removing you from the further text from move on immediately. Stay well and be well.
I'd be like, fuck off, asshole.
You guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently there is 80 earthquakes today in Southern California.
Wow.
Granted, small earthquakes, but still 80 earthquakes. No big deal.
They're frying the grid under California.
No big deal, dude. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh,
like that's nuts. Oh, this wasn't here about 5 minutes ago. Look at that. There you go. 3-year mark.
Oh my God. And you know, there's a city where my folks live that they had one of those at a bar, and I'll never forget it because right when it happened, I was able to get a news story on it that they were saying how they had a video from inside the restaurant when it happened, and it was supposedly a packed dance floor and bar, just packed with people, and a majority of the people came from. There was at least, I think, 30 of them that were at the Vegas one too, supposedly, just randomly, where they follow around each other for country music, I guess. And this place got shot up. Well, they showed the video, and you saw it was a guy under a table. There was no one in there, and you heard like someone shoot a handgun like 3 times into the ceiling. And even the announcers went, "Oh, that video didn't quite match up what we were saying." They even said something like that, and I sent it to my dad. And now I can't find it anywhere. It's gone. So that was before I knew you could download this stuff.
Founder of nonprofit are arrested after 2 brothers aged 9 and 11 are struck by a car.
9/11. Love it.
Right there, bro. Right there. I literally typed in today's headlines. That's the 8th one down.
9/11. They just love tagging it like a gangland. It's great.
Oh, no big deal, brother. It's literally no big deal for these people. What you got, boy? You got me something here. Well, there you go.
I'm a bird.
53, 53, 73, 37, the reverse of 73, Emma Broad and Flat Earth.
Wow.
That was it. Was just his part was to just get people thinking that it's not just some spinning ball in space, that it could be hollow, maybe it's flat, maybe it's a square, maybe it's a shape like a pear. That rhyme. Yep. Don't want to play the game bars.
And then he took his exit off the world stage like they all do. That's it, bro. So crazy. What about this picture I sent you, dude?
Oh, dude, the left with the angel.
What is that?
The angel with the UFO.
Well, hold on. Let's just break this down at eye level first before we go. Before we even address what this is. I don't know what this. This is like Babylon or something.
Tower of Babel, huh?
Yeah, but it's called the Purgatory. So
it's just like it's from Dante's Inferno. It goes along with those other pictures that I had sent you, Steve. It's all from the same artist and stuff. There's the Dio up top and everything, and at the peak would have been that weird character sitting there, that black thing. Remember?
He's chilling. He's overseeing. He's right. He's working his way up.
Don't got a UFO dropping people too. That's cool, and an angel blowing a trumpet.
Yeah, dude. I wish I could read this baloney, but you can't.
It's almost as if it's so crazy that they would use a UFO to drop people off.
That's weird.
The crazy thing is that we're right up here, bro. Come on. What's all this baloney? Perhaps a giant melted building.
What it is? It's the 9 circles of hell is what it is.
I know, but I'm trying to are the 9 circles of hell just layers on a building? And
Maybe.
what we see on our surface here is just the tippy tip tops of that building. I'm saying, bro.
The thing like that show Sabrina on Netflix, when I told you they were going over Dante's Inferno in school, and then Sabrina the witch took her friends to hell. The way they had it set up, it was like it wasn't like actual layers. It was like so you started here and you would walk, and then as you walk, you would get to certain things like a wall or a gate or this or that.
That's what we read in Dante's Inferno. Dante and his friend, his friend that he met in hell, were walking through hell and climbing the bulges and stuff and taking boats across the river Styx.
Yeah.
It's just nuts, bro. Because, like, from what I could tell, we're somewhere in here.
That's what it seems like. That looks like maybe the firmament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude. Looks like
the firmament, that's a DNA strand?
It looks like there's, like, brickwork on the ground there. I don't know, dude.
Or water waves.
And what's the spiral, like the vortex there?
I don't know, dude. That's where I get all effed up, dude.
As above, so below, baby.
And then you got
guys
this
have
dude.
the coolest photos.
And then you have the flames at the bottom.
Yeah, no big deal. These people just,
Hold on, wait.
hey, let's go.
Wait, no, this place doesn't exist anymore. Remember the Pope said purgatory is gone?
Oh, so.
Yeah, this is gone now.
Oh, well, ditch the photo then. We're good.
Tell this guy. Tell this guy who's dropping people off down there.
Yeah, so like you could see that like this guy's definitely powering the UFO.
Could that be a symbol of the fallen angels? Because, they're supposed to do their fake alien invasion thing. Could that be like some kind of symbolic of that?
Yeah.
With the angel blowing the trumpet into the aliens and they fall down?
Quite possibly,
well,
man.
I think the UFO is the fallen angel.
Yeah.
And so instead of having fallen angels flying around in the sky, because people would lose it, they come disguised as these things. That's why they never land.
I'm wondering about planes. It's interesting. I go kind of nuts on my thoughts, but I hear planes and we see planes. Sometimes I see planes that are half invisible or all the way invisible. I know it sounds nuts, but it's true. I've seen it. I've reported it even.
Stealing, I hear planes and look up on clear days and I don't see anything.
It just happened today. We had a drone fly by. And then usually there's a plane that follows it, and we couldn't see the plane. We saw the drone, but we didn't see the plane. And these are huge drones. They have to be some kind of military thing. It's not like something you buy on Amazon. It's like the size almost of a plane, but it's got 3 arms. I've taken a picture of them a few times. But this time there was a plane following it. You couldn't see it. You could see the drone, but not the plane. I think maybe the noises. Why do we just assume that that's a plane when we hear a noise? If an angel or a shapeshifter of any kind can mimic things. I mean, my ravens and crows, they could bark like dogs or make weird water noises or sound like all kinds of things. And who's to say that's not an angel or God or somebody doing something and we just hear that rumbling and we say, oh, it's lightning or thunder or it's a plane. I mean, why can't they take those shapes, especially the planes that don't even look like planes that are invisible like Wonder Woman?
Nuts, dude. real quick, Ceiling Fan.
Yes, sir.
What's missing on?
You're right. I was just talking to Steve about this. Somebody was what's his name? I love this channel, Recall Vector, and he talked about the Baphomet now has a torch in the middle of its head, and I didn't remember that, and there he doesn't. So that's cool. Residue.
Well, I remember Baphomet having the light above his head, the torch, because it's Lucifer, and Lucifer is the light bearer. So I've always remembered that there. However, I have seen depictions without it. But for me, it's always been there pretty much.
Yeah, it was new to me. I was like, whoa, because it's obvious.
There's that spaceship again. Paradise Lost.
Yeah.
You got more things trying to come down.
Where do you find these photos, man? These are awesome.
Ask Jen, dude. She sends me the scariest stuff.
Dude, one of my 3 o'clock in the morning trips after I went down, took a trip through hell and stuff and back.
Right. She's like, oh, look at my new friend Jerry with his hat. No big deal.
And there's locusts. There's giant locusts. That's biblical right there, too.
Yeah, dude.
They're supposed to show up, too.
They're coming. They're in Africa, apparently, I heard. But I don't know. I'm not in Africa.
I hear the rain's down in Africa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I missed them, I guess. The new version. I missed them.
But what is going on in Africa? Think about that. Nobody really knows. The only thing I know about Africa, like most people, they're starving people that they don't feed and they put them on TV so you send them money. And they got wild animals you can do a safari. There's a huge area of Africa that's totally uncharted. People don't go to. And Toto even sang about it. You know what I mean? It's like, what's going on there?
I think you probably have a situation like you would see in one of those Marvel movies where you're walking in like, you know, the middle of the desert or an African forest, and the next thing you know, you walk through a wall of gel or something, or maybe it rejects you because you're not one of them. And, you know, that could be a force field to land that, you know, it's like a utopia or something. Just speculation. Not that I actually think that, but it could be.
It could be that. It could be a number of things. Could be a major pocket of survival that's there that they don't want people to know about.
Oh, of course. Imagine if there was like a Wizard of fucking Oz, like just chilling. Not the guy, but like the whole freaking layout. You know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Imagine that.
Whose arm's coming in the top there? That's kind of weird.
It freaks me out. Whose eye is this? Is it a different dude? And that's like, I don't know, man. I mean, we were made in God's image. That looks like a humanly-ish arm, so I gotta assume God has humanly-ish looking arms. So
but
I don't
it's
know.
Similar to the
peeping. You gotta peep it up top. I don't know, dude.
It's similar pose to that Adam and God creation on the Sistine Chapel. Similar to that look.
It is. Expressions of gravitation and radiation. I love how you have gravitation, radiation, finger of God. Like, you can't have those in the same sentence, but who am I?
Cosmic consciousness.
Right, dude. That's all hanging out up here, dude. I don't know. This is the top of the mountain, so we're like, in this one, we're somewhere down here, and this is chilling somewhere.
Yeah,
I can't find it. I can't find it, but we're living somewhere in here, dude. I don't know.
I think that right there in the center, you have the 3 circles, right? And then you have that castle, and then that Christmas tree looking thing on top with a flame above it. I think this is the center of our plane. That would be Mount Meru. Then you got the clouds.
This like a zoom in on the top of it or something?
That's up in the starry realm. That would be the starry celestial realm up there. That the
mountains up there. It's crazy. Imagine that you're flying a plane. You're like, oh, mountain range. Holy shit.
Cities in the sky. Yeah.
I can be up at 3 a.m. and end up finding cat videos. Where do you find these things? These are awesome.
I was looking up ancient depictions of Earth, flat Earth, and hell. Ancient depictions of the 9 circles of hell and stuff. And I came up with all these pictures. I mean, I can't remember exactly what I typed in, but one thing leads you to another till you're like, holy shit in yourself at 3 a.m. I gotta call Steve right now.
And look at those crystals, and then it looks almost like they show a Saturn looks like, and it's a spiritual atom there. I mean, geez,
dude, look at this. You have literal molecules and atoms and electrons, and over here it says pyramid mysteries. So I don't know what's going on here. Like, this guy's got to make his mind up. He's on 2 different sides of the book right now,
and he talks about blood.
Yeah, atomic fear. Imagine that.
Yeah, atomic fear with all those masks gone back in the 50s.
Ever, dude. Yeah.
But the 2 crystal things, I think when we look at the stars, when we see them, when they're in like a crystalline structure flickering around, we're watching them shape and shift and stuff. Sometimes they're all these different forms. But then they show us that the planets look like what they just depicted, like a ball with a ring around it, saying it's Saturn or something, you know? So you got the true form and then the fake form under it, what they put out for the public.
I love that photo. I found that and posted it because, like, it's right in your face.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And then there was that commercial that had that guy, what was it, for Heineken beer or some shit like that, where he went up through the firmament and burst through the water. Or it had to do with that guy who did the deepest dive and the guy who first went up to the highest point. It was a commercial for like a beer or something. Anyway, they show him splashing through like the firmament, like as if they're telling us it's water.
Mm-hmm. And again, don't forget, don't bet against the Simpsons. They busted through it on an episode and water came down.
Home run.
He had a
home run.
And they say it so nonchalantly, like he cracked the sky and the ocean washed down from above, like as if this is, they know there's an ocean up there, no question.
It's 2020, dude. It's no big deal nowadays. No big deal. You can be like, oh, the sun's green, high five. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I think that's where our sea creatures started. I think that they came from above the firmament and they came down with all that water, and that's why we have these sea creatures that live in the salt water and stuff. I don't know.
And that's the other thing they tell us. They haven't explored the oceans. They hide so much crap down there. I mean, Atlantis could still be alive. We don't know. They're finding pyramids all over the world, including under the water.
Yes. I'm going to do a whole show on melted buildings under the ocean.
Dude, they have those Greco-Roman ruins right under Cuba, you know? Like, what's that about? Why is that there under the water, you know? Like,
I'm going to take a closer look at the Mariana Trench and all that going down the side of
the whole building, bro.
I know. We're gonna do a whole show on that one night. You're all invited.
Be there or be square. All right, Bobby, what do we got? What do you want to look at first?
The last one first.
The last one first.
This is so good. This is so good.
I have a few more if you need to, Steve. So.
Could cats hold a key
good.
to a COVID-19 vaccine, my dude?
Oh.
Donate us your kitties.
This is mind-blowing. They got people really thinking that they could
so
take something from a different species and then heal something in a human being.
Go.
Yep.
Halloween, no trick or treats.
Celebrating Thanksgiving.
Oh, great. I got a guideline. Let's see how that's going to work.
Oh, are we allowed to have people?
Well, as of right now, let's see what the CDC has to say. Uh-oh, a cheeseburger chain just closed. Oh, no. That's the type of news I get on my dash. Nice. I'm like, oh, sick, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, just telling you, have a small dinner. Yeah. Low risk activities, you know.
Having a virtual dinner.
Have a virtual dinner.
Virtual dinner.
Nice.
Shopping online rather than in person the day after or the next Monday. Watching sports events, parade movies.
Well, you know,
and there's moderate risk.
The few times we've had some people over, we have a protest. And every time I have a protest at my house, we're protesting the fact that we can't have a get-together. So that's our protest. Because otherwise, I guess it's not allowed, right? If you have a get-together.
Use hand sanitizer before touching
high-risk activities. Shopping.
Are you telling me this virus is going to hop out of my body?
Using alcohol or drugs. Ooh. Don't use alcohol or drugs. It's a high-risk activity. You might get COVID from smoking a Dutch on Thanksgiving.
Because it increases your risky behavior.
You know, I might go and stand 5 feet away from you. Ooh. God forbid.
And I like that story right there. Mark Wahlberg donated 1.3 million face masks. What a nice guy.
Wow. A nice 13 for you. And look at over here, another 13. Ohio's 13th congressional. Nice, dude. Give these people a high five.
Did you see the if you scroll back up on this one, I think you might see the news story on the side. Let me see. You go back all the way up. Right there, number 3. NFL legend Joe Montana stops home intruder who allegedly tried to kidnap his grandchild.
What? Was it what was that one dude? Is it one of the Podesta brothers that tried to grab him? Allegedly.
It was a woman that I heard.
Nice.
What are these other friggin' stories? One wounded in a shooting at a haunted house. What? What does that even mean?
And at the bottom, they had a cartoon. I love how they always show you viruses and satellites, and they're always cartoons.
Now this says Birmingham, right? But this is UK.
I get out of here. I don't want your shit. More options.
Block.
Get out of here.
I guess they won't let you look. Oh, there you go.
We're good. No.
Yeah, so it says massive vaccination plan for Birmingham before Christmas involving hundreds of thousands of people.
Wait, time out. When was this? Today? All right, Birmingham. Birmingham. I had Birmingham somewhere on here. Please hold. Birmingham got like F today with something. I don't know where.
I'm 60 miles from Birmingham.
No, UK.
Go. There you go.
Okay.
18-wheeler. Sodium hydrosulfide spills down I-59 in Birmingham 54 minutes ago.
No, that's the one where Jen's at.
Nice.
Yeah, this one's in the vaccine one is in
we're going overseas.
Yeah.
Well, I love New England, New America, Old England, same thing.
Well, I thought it was important because just to kind of show people that it's just because some people go, well, it's not worldwide. Here it is. Okay, this is the UK. I believe I saw the number. 800,000 people would be prioritized in any rollout with over 65 deemed vulnerable or 50 to 64 olds with a pre-existing health condition and all people from BME background due to the first in line. So right before Christmas in Birmingham in the UK, they're planning to roll out a massive vaccination for COVID.
Here we
800,000.
Wow.
Like that, what's Birmingham's population just in that city?
Roughly 1,000.
I didn't study for the test, so I don't know.
I always
population 1.6 million. Okay.
Oh, that tells you.
You need it, Bobby. They got it.
Well, I mean, when I Google it, I get as of 2011,
nice.
1.086 million.
Oh yeah. Everyone's having 13 kids nowadays.
So how many? Well, what'd you say it was?
1.8, 1.6, 1.6.
So 800,000.
On half of them. See you later.
1.6.
And does anyone even give a moment's thought that if this is the scariest disease in world history, that we're shutting down the world, and you want to stay away from it as best as possible, but then we'll give you a vaccine, we'll actually shoot a little bit into you. Like, what? Like, if it's this bad, and we all know that they say they're dead or whatever, these viruses they shoot in you, but at the same time, people get sick all the time.
Yeah, because that's how you get viruses.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Yeah, you inject it.
It's like, keep that away from me and then shoot it into me.
Just like people like my friends, I say people, my friends, right? They're like, okay, Bob, so if it's not a real thing, where did it come from? I'm like, let's see. It broke out in Wuhan in November, and then it broke out in the US in January, right after flu shots. And then they just looked at me. I'm like, am I saying that's the case? I don't know, but it's definitely not airborne. You're not breathing it in. It's not crawling through your eye sockets. I said, if it is a thing, it's oddly, I guess coincidental. It happened right after November flu shots, and those are free, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And the government never gives you anything for free. There's always a catch.
No, I think that's good.
Oh yeah, this new vaccine's going to be free.
Look at these comments on the vaccine.
Comments make me help. Well, first off, the person's name was Truth Teller. So what up?
Where? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, you wouldn't go near it. It's like I mean, this gives me a little bit of hope that these are real, like actual people,
and they're sticking up on the website. So F them,
And there's one other thing. You should look at the death records of SIDS, which has gone down recently. And again, they say they don't know what causes it, the sudden infant death syndrome. And yet, because of the lockdown, a lot of people have not been taking their kids in for their normal vaccinations. So I don't know if there's coincidence there and put it on the shelf, but nobody ever looks at this stuff. No one ever says, could there be another factor that's making these people sick? It always has to be what they say.
Well, yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like my kid, that was a big no for me. I remember him being 16 months old, going for a checkup, and he's like, doctor's like, hey, he needs this shot. I was like, okay, for what? He's like, oh, to get him ready for school. I'm like, he's barely 1. He's going to go to school at 5. You're telling me this vaccine is going to live in him his whole entire life, just like getting him ready for school? Like, does the vaccine know when it's school time? Like, all right, let's go, boys. First day of school. Like, and he just looked at me, and I had to sign all these waivers and things like that.
Yeah, and you get marked as a crazy person.
That's great. My kid's healthy. They try to deem him as ODD, which is obedience defiance disorder. It's on the autism spectrum and all this stuff and all this. I'm like, no. They're like, oh, your son has a lot of energy for his age. I'm like, he's 4. What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, by the way, the other thing is if someone does smoke the devil's lettuce, don't ever tell anybody in the medical field that you do. First of all, it won't affect your medicines. And second of all, they'll label you as a drug addict. I'm not kidding, because I know people in that field. And immediately it's like, oh, that guy smoked weed, so he's a drug addict. Be careful when you give him this, that, and the other. So just a little PSA.
I heard that too. But but the whole point of them telling me that he has ODD is that I was like, oh well, we have pills for that.
Gotta get that pill.
You have religion in your life? We got a vaccine for that.
I'm like, bro, like he's 4. Like his brain hasn't physically stopped growing yet, and you're gonna start throwing pills at him already. Like, I think it was George Bush Jr. who made that, like, where you can start putting little kids on pills at like 4 years old.
Ritalin and stuff. And then they had it in the schools because my stepson, when I was married to my ex-husband, he was on Ritalin, and it had to be administered during his school time. So the nurses would, call him down to the nurse's office, time to take the pill.
It's terrible.
Yeah. He had bad side effects too. Chewed his fingernails down to the bone practically. Just till this day, he has issues in life, and he's over 30.
Did you guys hear the new thing about what Bill Gates is saying with the kids?
Jesus, no. I try so hard not to, dude.
Hard to miss.
I get my updates on here.
We hear this.
880 views, 88. Nice.
And we're taking things that are, genetically modified organisms, and we're injecting them in little kids' arms.
There you go. How you like them apples?
He just says it. No one cares. Oh, okay.
Let's hear it again, Bill. What do you like to do to kids?
And we're taking things that are,
Look at that nice smile. Say it again. Say it proud.
Genetically modified organisms. And
he's laughing.
He's got to look to the side. That's what I do when I'm about to laugh and say something. I look over for something. He's doing it, yo. He's just laughing.
Bobby, you have it right, Bobby. It's like watching Saturday Night Live when they start cracking up in the skit.
Yeah, it's so funny.
You just jam it in there.
You just jam it, and like he just. I mean, obviously we know it's.
He said that with pleasure. We just jam it right in there.
Go back to that, can you? Did you see that story that just came out?
No.
Those two weirdos. Was it John Legend and Chrissy Teigen?
Hey, first off, before we go to that, I was one of the 1 million blocked by Chrissy Teigen on her Twitter because I was there spamming all her pedophile tweets back at her.
It just said that article. I didn't get to read the thing real quick, but they lost their kid.
What?
Yeah, it just said right there. See? They lost it.
Sacrifice, huh?
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, or just the regular abortion. Same thing. Same thing.
Well, no, because here's the thing. Like, after all the pedophile things came out, where people like myself and like 909, you get my gif, were tweeting her back at it, and like people were like coming at us like, oh, I'm like, okay, well, explain it to me. What does she mean by this? And then they were like, oh, well, and she's saying things like, oh, I'm watching toddlers and tiaras. Oh, when I see a 5-year-old girl do a split, ... I should be in jail for my thoughts. What? Excuse me?
No.
Excuse me? What'd you say? Oh, well, maybe she. No. So when she got pregnant again, people were all over the place. Or I heard this like a month or two ago. They're like, I bet you it's either abortion or it dies young for a ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Because she did the humiliation because they let all that stuff get out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing gets out like that. And one day she deleted 70,000 tweets. But we caught him, girl. We got him. And then or guy. but yeah, so all those people that were blocked were like talking on Twitter, and 1,000% correct. It obviously didn't make it.
And somebody mentioned the trans agenda, and it's just like everything else. There's real people, and then there's the agenda push, which is the fake news stuff. And the fact that they're pushing this trans thing, this dehumanization, you're not a man or woman, you're a couch or whatever you want to be. And again, I'm not knocking. I understand there are, there's 1% of the population that there really is the thing, but the rest of it, yeah. But if you go on your iPhone right now and you go to send an emoji, and you know how they have like the doctor and the lawyer and whatever,
yeah.
They used to have a man and a woman. Now they have a third character in everything. that's kind of in between. You can't quite tell, and it's like they're even throwing it into the phone. You know what I mean? It's just
woman, child, or man, child instead of mom.
Yeah.
Child.
But the only one they don't have is the Muslim. There's only a woman. They don't have a trans Muslim because they're
not all inclusive. Shame on them.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing that cracks me up too, is where they how they'll do all this stuff, but then no one ever brings up things like that. Where the WWE has this 10-year contract with the Prince of Saudi Arabia. They have shows there. He pays them $50 million per show, and while the broadcasts are going on, WWE Michael Cole was like, "Welcome to somewhere in Saudi Arabia, this up and coming beautiful city." I'm like, you do know they just started letting women drive last week, right?
Literally.
But yet no one's talking about that. They're talking about how up and coming it is. I'm like, bro, they're killing in that country. They are still stoning gays to death. They just did it this afternoon before they got to the show.
But check this out. You go to Saudi Arabia for vacation. Say you go to Dubai, right? You're from any country other than their country, right? You go there and have a good time. They expect you to abide by their laws, and they're like the no-hide laws. And you're out there trying to be drinking and dancing, have a good time. All this shit's again. So it's contradictory to what they're trying to have tourism come in for a good time. You go on vacation, you do all this stuff. But then again, it's a woman can be stoned in the street for talking back to her man or something.
Scotty, I'm just being real. See, that's the thing people don't get on TV no more. It's just being real. It's what they do. 11 Muslim countries today still throw gays off a roof. And throw them again if they survive. But yet when they show these things on TV, they talk about how up and coming it is. I'm like, bro, it's 2020.
Yeah.
How up and coming can it be? I'm like, why did it go? First off, why did it go backwards? If you see pictures of Iraq in the 50s, you'll see girls in mini skirts and them with beakers, trying to be scientists. I'm like, how the hell did you go backwards from the 50s?
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Oh, a hijacked religion came in, and more lies were spilled, and now this, and this, and this.
And it's unbelievable how they transform a society within a few generations. It's usually just 1 or 2 generations. They're doing it right now. Mm-hmm. Our latest generation coming up, the 5-6-year-olds that are running around now are being re-educated up into this new way of life. And this is going to be their norm. And it's just completely reversed from what we've been living this whole time. You go from scientists and mini skirts, having a good time, having freedom like everybody should, to now you got to wear a burqa. You have to cover your face. If you look funny at your husband, he can beat the crap out of you, and it's totally legal. Or whatever. If you're gay, they're just going to, string you up or throw you over the side.
How do you like the fact that they push these agendas on us? There was a time just recently that if you were a true American, you had to be mad because people were covering their face in burqas and stuff. And now, if you don't do it, they're mad. It's like we were talking before. It's
180.
These rich dudes are just taking a bet. I bet you I can make them happy to wear a mask. You're on. You know what I mean?
They're playing us. They're playing us. They're playing us to do it their way when they need us to, and then they flip the script and have us do it this other way. And we're doing it to ourselves. Mm-hmm. And even right now, what's happening? They've already got us policing each other.
I sent you a picture, Steve. I don't know if you saw it.
I got it on my phone, but real quick before I lose this thought, we're talking about Saudi Arabia and the lack of rights that women have. What about the abundance of rights that robots and transhumanists have?
Oh, yeah.
And cyborgs have in Saudi Arabia. Sophia the robot is the mayor of a district. Imagine that.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah.
Old news. That's 3-4 years ago, brother.
I missed that show. Are you kidding me? There's a robot? Talk to me about this.
Dude, crazy.
You don't know about Sophia, the bald-headed robot?
I know Sophia, but she's in charge of something? What the heck are you talking about?
Yeah.
She got rights. She got a little appointment and an office.
Good to go, bro.
She's running for office or something.
They'll terminate your ass.
Either Saudi Arabia or India. She's she's the head of a district.
I think it's India.
Is it India? Same thing, dude. No offense to those people, but same thing. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Sophia the robot.
Canada, United States, same thing.
Being the first humanoid robot to obtain citizenship, Sophia arrived in India to a 10-day technology-based interactive session in Kolkata. The humanoid robot developed by Hanson Robotics is the first ever robot citizen in Saudi Arabia provided citizenship to Sophia.
Love it.
You like that?
That's fantastic.
The robot created by human flesh has more rights than humans.
That's awesome.
She has more rights in Saudi Arabia than the actual women in there.
Yeah, it's nuts, bro. She could go, if willing, if it's capable, it could hop in a car and take off. No big deal. Go to the bar, hang out with the boys. No big deal. But your wife, no. You can go hang out and do your business with the fantasy robot. That's probably already a thing over there, and they're just not telling us about it.
So gross.
It's coming down the pike, dude, and they're gonna cut off all interaction.
They did a whole movie on it where some dude was in love with a love doll or some crap like that. I mean,
Cherry 2000. Do you remember Cherry 2000, Ceiling Man?
Oh my God, that's going way back.
That guy was married to one, and remember his robot short circuited, and he had to go find this little piece to and they're like, we're gonna have to get a new robot, and he's like, I really want this one, like Cherry 2000. That was crazy.
I didn't think of that. You're right. I was thinking of the one current, but you're right.
The last one that came out where a dude, I think wasn't it Ex Machina?
Ex Machina.
Well, I was talking. There's one where a dude falls in love with his doll or whatever and takes it around everywhere. It's like we were saying.
That's a real thing. There's some guy in India or one of those countries. He's got like a sex doll robot, but it doesn't really do much. It's like real low tech.
Dude, people are married to their
Take it out to eat. He'll sit it next to him and feed it and stuff.
So wait. He has a sex robot that doesn't do much. Sounds like a marriage.
Bro, there's a sex robot that's like $40,000. It has Wi-Fi capabilities. You can call it on your way home from work, and she'll get warmed up. She'll have conversations.
Get ready, bitch! I'm on my way.
Yeah, she'll legitly like her.
Suck your dick like I'm mad at it.
Bro, like her body warms up
to
replicate like a human's flesh. She'll talk to you. You can call her, and she'll talk to you, have a conversation with you.
Oh my God!
$40,000. Yeah, your mind.
You won't catch nothing from your robot except for a robot virus.
And where do you hide it? Like, so when company comes over, you know what I mean? It's like they open up the coat closet and the thing falls out.
You just hit the button. She can be whatever you want.
Don't mind Jan on the couch.
Futurama had something like that, where it was regular robots, and you can go buy
is something like that.
You just go to Westworld. Westworld, it's all sex robots in there. You should see what they did to those robots in Westworld.
Futurama had a thing where it was regular robots, and you could buy celebrities. So, like, if I wanted to go buy Taylor Swift, they would download it into the robot, and she would look and talk like Taylor Swift.
Nice.
Whoever you or back then, I think Fry's big obsession was Lucy Liu, and he just went to town on his robot.
That's gross. All right, is there another subject?
Oh my God.
Gross.
This is where we're at, guys. This is where we're at.
Oh my God.
Also in AI, the movie that came out in 2001, the first AI movie where the little kid was an AI robot to replace her son that passed away. And then, towards the end of the movie, he runs into other robots. And that one famous actor from England, I can't think of his name right now, he was a sex robot. He was a call boy or whatever. And he would get calls to go fulfill people's fantasies. And that's what he was, a sex robot on call.
I never saw that movie. That's really sad. That's what that was.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Isn't that movie with the kid from The Sixth Sense?
Yeah, AI.
Yeah. Poor thing. What happened to him? I mean, geez, he was run all over. Hollywood.
I don't know. I mean, these kids get all drugged out so they can have sex with them without them knowing.
Yeah. I just watched the whole breakdown somebody did on Pinocchio and how it tells you it's basically.
We talking about Tom Hanks is going to be in Pinocchio, my dude.
Wait, there's another one? Are you kidding?
They're making a live action Pinocchio. Tom Hanks is what's his name?
Geppetto.
Sure.
Whatever. I don't give a
Geppetto. Normally I'd say the Italian would know, but I think it was Geppetto.
No, I mean he's playing the guy making the thing, and isn't it
Geppetto?
Geppetto.
Right.
Geppetto.
Giuseppe, I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't know who Giuseppe is. Maybe that's some mob boss you know.
No boyfriend.
No, this guy did a breakdown on the movie where it's basically talking about Hollywood and how they're pedophiles and the character that takes him to Pleasure Island, full of lost boys. He's like, he looks and acts like Harvey Weinstein. And I mean, the guy does a whole breakdown. It's really good.
Probably a blue dome one there somewhere too, or something.
I'll read you the passage. I believe, like, if I can try to remember it, that guy in the Pinocchio book says that he likes taking young boys. The younger, the better. It's something like that.
Yeah,
it's a funny comment.
Geppetto. Wait, isn't it 2 T's? It's Japan. Dude, that's funny.
No,
I didn't catch that one.
That's good. Yeah, I like that one.
That was a slow roll. I didn't get there.
Yeah,
right away.
that's why I whenever Bobby just said was god awful, I'm over here crying of laughter. I'm like, I gotta put that on the screen before someone watches it in like a couple
Good
days.
job,
What's wrong with this kid?
I love that.
Dude, that's funny.
But Tom Hanks, he's
yeah.
all over everything. He's got his fucking little fingers in everything. All through 2020. It's Tom Hanks 2020.
Literally.
Now he's trying to stick himself in the vaccine. So he's in every one of us.
Yeah.
Do you guys catch this photo? Did you guys check this
come
out?
on. They don't even care anymore.
That's so fucking obvious. He sucks his cock. That's what he's telling you.
Come on.
They just are so obvious now. It's like the gloves are off. They don't care.
Yeah.
They
might
know.
stand there and stick up their middle finger at us and just do that.
That'll be next, probably, or do that thing where they, twiddle their thumb on your nose or whatever, something like that. I mean, jeez.
Look at this. This is a children's hospital. In
Of
Melbourne.
course it is.
Oh my god!
Come on, dude. Come on.
You know what they do with the children in that hospital?
I could only imagine, and they have like a serpent, like little outline to it over here too. That's good stuff.
So the Shriners Hospital in Philadelphia, that logo bothers me.
What's that one?
It's a dude. It's like the silhouette, but it's a dude with the Shriner hat on, and then a kid sitting on his lap.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
was it the BBC? The BBC has a statue with a guy with a boy right in front of his crotch or something. I mean,
dude, I gotta tell you this. There's they do this shit everywhere. There's a place around here called DeSoto Caverns. Now I need to go back to this cavern since I know about melted buildings now, because there's all kinds of crazy shit in there. And I've been there quite a few times. But anyway, you walk into their little camping park area that they have established around this cave that you're going to go in. And it's all family themed and everything. And in the center, they have a sculpture. It's a bronze sculpture of kids. And there's a kid holding up another kid who's climbing up on another kid. But if you stand, and I told my husband, I said, come here, come look at this. If you stand a certain way, these kids look like they're doing stuff to each other. Like the kid who's going like this to the one kid up here looks like they're about to, do something. And the other girl up there looks like she's about to do something to the other kid. If you just stand in the right angle, and that right angle is as soon as you walk in. But once you start turning, you can't see it anymore. That's that one position. I have pictures of it. I'll have to go dig them up. I think they're on Facebook somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's sad. It's sad what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's right in our faces, all out there. And most of the time, we don't even know it. Now that we're awake to it, we pointed out people like you said who was just saying, "Oh, well, you have a twisted mind." No. This is weird.
look at all the Shirley Temple movies. Her laying all over the laps of grown men, touching them on their faces. I just want to kiss you. I just want to marry you. And they're fawning after her and everything.
I did a video, and what you do, you could try this at home. It's online. You can find where she's on I think it's a train where she's singing that song that she's famous for, the Lollipop song or whatever. Whatever. And
Good Ship Lollipop.
Yeah, Good Ship Lollipop. Good Ship Lollipop. Turn the volume off, and remember that not a single man in there is related to her, and they're all in the 40s or whatever. And without the sound on, it looks like they're just abusing her on camera. It's disgusting. Yes. But because she was adorable and had the singing voice, all that. Oh, what a cute little memory everyone thinks about. But when you actually watch that shit, it's
doing
horrible.
The same thing with these little pageant kids. they're dressed like John Bonet and stuff. They're dressing them up and having them act like adults. They made Shirley Temple a little adult, the way she was witty with all her stuff and the singing abilities and everything. They were trying to get you to view her as not a child, but a small adult or whatever. And then to throw her in with all these men all the time, it was a movie after movie after movie of her, singing to some man that she wants to marry, or, crawling up on his lap and sitting there and all this stuff and hugging and kissing and everything. It's just ridiculous.
They just had a story came out, I think, yesterday that Dorothy now supposedly was molested on the set of The Wizard of Oz by a bunch of the Munchkins. So there's that. And they were all in their 40s, supposedly.
I did hear about that. I heard about that a while ago. Well, it was really speculation a while ago, but now that it's like a mainstream thing, that's crazy. But real quick, I just thought this was an interesting picture that I shared the other day, because that's literally where we are in all aspects, It's crazy. Like, obviously on the bottom, I wish we were on the top, everyone chilling. This looks like CeilingFan's backyard probably on top, and we're all down here.
That's funny.
It's just interesting, You like look at all that stuff. That's literally like, I know it's just an artist rendition, but it's like, come on, people are literally glorifying money as they should God. But doesn't matter if you look at it. People are Satanist or they're self-worshippers or they do anything for the dollar. Doesn't matter. It's a replacement for God, and that's enough for me to call it satanic at the end of the day, whether you know it or not.
The thing with the technology, it's great. We all love it, and everything that they've done has improved our lives. But at the end of the day, has it? Because we've got an entire generation that doesn't know how to cook, that doesn't know how to grow food, that doesn't know how to do anything for themselves. If they want anything, they pick up their phone and they order it. Even you can have food sent to your house, like those food boxes, and that's already prepackaged. Take this little package of chicken and drop it out, and take this little package of sauce. But you can't do any of that stuff yourself anymore. Most people don't even know how to change their own tires. It's like we've completely dumbed down our societies at a cost of getting all this wonderful technology. And if the technology goes away tomorrow, if the power out goes out, or where the internet goes, then what? Everyone has to be self-sufficient, and nobody has the skills anymore.
You're 100% right, dude. And something, I was just looking at this picture real quick. Something that sticks out is like the obviously obese man, the boss, the dude who sits at his office all day, is on top while everyone holds him up. Then you got this little dude down here in the corner. He's just like, F y'all. I'm that guy, We're all that guy.
And it looks like, is there like one little plant?
Probably this guy over here. He's like, I'm shooting the fuck out of you people. I'm gonna tase your ass.
You see that one guy that you showed? There's like sewage, and there's one little plant left in the world. It looks like. See that? He's like crying over it almost.
He's done, bro. That's all of us right now.
When that plant's gone, it's over. Yeah.
Sucks being these people down there. It's. We've all been there.
These fallen angels have always wanted us to destroy ourselves and completely destroyed the garden that God created. So, this is like their total end game is just everything collapsing in on itself and just utter degradation across the board.
Look who's look in the mirror, There's an angel there of light, the money, and there you go.
And look at the hand holding it. That's got to be Satan.
That's what I'm saying. Sketchy, bro, right? That's sketchy. A big hand. That's a big hand. That's a human. That's a hand. Dante's Inferno. The scariest part about that is the size of the dude in the basement. The dude at the bottom. His torso's 2 miles high, bro. Imagine that. Imagine that guy getting free out of the bottomless pit. If that's a bat on, I don't want no part of that.
I'll go to it.
That's nuts. I'll look at him, I'll flip him off, and I'm out, dude. I'm out. I'm running for the hills.
Don't make eye contact. Whatever you do.
It kind of reminded me of Plankton from SpongeBob, the one eye. I just realized that guy has a one eye.
Oh, yeah. He's evil.
Yeah, SpongeBob.
I see Squidward's pain in SpongeBob. I'm turning into Squidward low-key sometimes. Like, look at all these happy,
Well, they made
juicy
SpongeBob
mother
gay,
effers.
didn't they? Right?
Huh?
Isn't SpongeBob gay now?
Yeah, isn't that good for
And
the
Mr. Krabs' eyes turned green. I remember that. That was weird.
Because he was all about money.
Well, just the fact that to me, I mean, I don't know if you guys go into Mandela's, but they used to be white. Now they're green. Mr. Crab.
Oh, yeah, the shade.
His eyes are green. They used to be white. I never
What?
seen a crab. Yeah, look it up. I've never seen a crab with green eyes.
Didn't they? Tom and Jerry. He has.
Yeah, Tom's eyes. What are they?
It's
Yellow?
yellow now. Yeah.
What?
Weird.
Yeah,
Tom
Mr.
or
Crab.
Jerry?
Tom.
No,
Tom.
Jerry has like yellowish eyes. A little mouse, bro.
Look up Tom and Jerry. Tom the Tomcat, whatever his name is.
And do Mr. Krabs too. That was a
Yellow. The whites of his eyes are yellow. Like, it makes sense. My cat's eyes are yellow.
Oh, I do remember that.
It looks weird though.
You
The
do?
yellow eyes.
I do not.
I
Let's
know.
see.
I know.
Yellow
Actually,
Eyes was
I
the
don't know.
evil demon on Supernatural.
I don't know. That's really yellow though.
I watched
I
that
remember like
season.
off white. I remember like an off white. I don't think they were that yellow.
Do you know why
There's that,
I remember?
there's that one scene for me where Tom's hitting the cigarette and he's like one pull, you know, he hits the cigarette in one puff or whatever, blows it out into a heart, and that's the other cat out. The chick.
There's an episode I used to watch this when I was a kid growing up, and I remember his eyes being white because there was an episode where like
Right.
Tom was dead tired
Zoom
and his
back
eyes
in.
were bloodshot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that one too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's different. I gotta go. See, Tom and Jerry's my stuff, bro. Don't get me going. Don't get me going. Like, oh,
Yeah.
dude, you're gonna get me in 6-year-old mode. I can't be watching cartoons. Well, let's check out Mr. Krabs while we're acting like we're 6 years old. Let's see.
Or like I think it was Johnny Quest. I used to watch that one, and he's lost his H or something like that.
It's okay.
Krabs images. That's really small.
See, they're green.
So that's how I remember him.
Well, I got a white
Yeah,
one right
that
here.
one right there is how I remember him. Now he's green.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with Ceiling Fan on this one. That's not right. You don't want, if he's got green eyes, you don't want to eat that stuff. You know.
And then I
Even
saw
if-
somebody yesterday said the squirrely on Charlie Brown's head looks weird, but I don't know about that one. I never studied him too much. And Homer Simpson, did he always have 2 strands of hair that attached on both sides of his head? So
Oh, what? That is looking off, bro.
Yeah, that's
Come
weird.
on. That's off, dude. Charlie Brown, Halloween and Christmas. When I was a kid, that was my shizdig. Like, if
I used to
anything,
read those
this one-
cartoons.
This
as a
one is the most close one right here. This
Yeah.
is the closest one.
Yeah.
All the
I used
other
to read
ones are
those
just
cartoons
mock.
as a kid. It was Charles Schultz, and now that's different too.
Yes, that's changed. Yes.
That one messed my head up pretty good because I read those comics so much as a kid.
It's crazy. All right, we're getting a little late on my end, guys. I was gonna ready to wrap it up. We had 2 great hours. You know, that was awesome. Ceiling Fan, thanks for making some time. And I know you're the busiest man, or I'm just kidding. You're good.
Thank you for having me. I'll talk to anyone that'll listen to me. Are you kidding?
Oh, dude, you're welcome here all the time. If I did more call-in shows, I'm sure we would have had some more combos over the last couple of weeks or months or whatever. But you're welcomed on whenever you see me live. Just ask for a link, brother. And you're
I will take you up on that. I appreciate it. But most of the time, I just fascinated sitting back and watching you guys and listening. So yeah, I'll probably I'll pop in occasionally.
Back at you. Next time you're around with Airborne, tell him I said what's good. I know
will.
you guys do like a weekly or bi-weekly or something. You guys,
Yeah, he bumped me today or Wednesday, but should be next Wednesday. So yeah.
You know, that's a good day. I'll be there listening.
Well, thanks for having me. I enjoy all the 3 of you, and all of you are looking so much like more amazing, beautiful, healthier. All of you, even Bobby.
Thank you.
Bobby, did you ever get a haircut?
Yeah, I did.
Yes. All right. Good.
Yeah.
I remember months ago you were like, I haven't had a haircut in forever.
Yeah, but I basically just got an undercut. That's all I did. So basically, my entire head shaved besides my bangs.
Makes sense.
The top of my head, yeah.
Just flip it over.
It's so much easier.
Well, we'll just have to take your word for it, I guess.
Oh man, but all right, we're just gonna end it. I don't have a song lined up or anything, but once again, guys, thanks for coming. This was awesome. Everyone in the chat, we had 128 at one point, so you guys are the best. And God bless everyone. Be strong, be easy. We're gonna get on.